Hey friends, so today we're going to be doing a little urban homesteading video. I've been feeling overly ashamed walking out my front door to see my neighbor's beautifully pruned basil plants and my monstrosity. So I'm going to do a quick little video about how to prune an overgrown unruly basil plant, and then we're going to make some pesto. So let's get into it. So our first step in pruning this sad basil plant is going to be removing all of the dead or dying leaves that are yellowed and ripped, just to make this a healthy plant again. Already the plant looks so much healthier without all those yellowing leaves and broken leaves and chewed on leaves, minus that one. So let's get into step number 2. All right, so the next step is to trim the flower stems. So while they're very pretty for herb gardens, they do need to be pruned if you intend on harvesting for cooking. So I'm going to follow the buds all the way down to the final flower bud here and cut right above that next cluster of fresh basil leaves. So the final step would be to harvest all the things that I want to eat, to trim it down a lot. Unfortunately, I have kind of let this go too far overgrown, and the stalks have become woody. And what that essentially means is that it's gone to seed, and it's just the leaves get a little bit more bitter. And since it's an annual plant anyway, this probably will not last me the entire winter, but what I'm going to do is make a big batch of pesto that I'm going to freeze, and we'll just keep it as long as it decides to be alive, and I will have learned a few lessons, and next spring I will have a new basil plant that hopefully I will be able to prune happily and keep very beautiful looking. So I'm going to trim some off and we'll go inside and make some pesto. So the first thing I'm going to do is break off all my leaves. First thing you want to do is prepare your ice bath. So I have this wonderful cup of ice. I'm going to add cold water, as cold as you can get it. Alright, so the blanching process is going to look like this. We're going to add our basil leaves to our boiling water for approximately 5 to 10 seconds. And then we are going to plunge it into our ice bath immediately to stop the cooking process. So this all happens very quickly. So here we go. Now we are going to dry our basil leaves. Alright, to make our pesto, we're going to add our blanched basil that has been dried. I tend to not use pine nuts because they're expensive, so we're just going to add a handful of chopped walnuts, maybe a handful and a half. And for my cheesy flavor, we're going to add a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast. And I love the cheesy flavor, so I'm going to add probably about 3 heaping tablespoons. And now that we've got everything kind of finely minced up, we're going to add our wet ingredients. It's going to be about 3 or so cloves of garlic. And as this blends, we are going to stream in some extra virgin olive oil. And every so often you'll want to stop and scrape down the edges. And there we have our rustic pesto. And that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're interested in following along on my urban homestead journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss my next video. I'm Fossy. Thanks for watching.
Hey, the gorilla's loose!